Welcome to Learn to Create a Design System series, Part 1, Creating a Color System. Let's get started. Let's dive into the Create Colors page where you're given how-to steps as well as an example of all of the colors set up within this system, as well as a design example with an app screen with those colors attributed. And over here we have the setup of light and dark mode showcase, so you can easily understand how this is set up with its naming conventions and how it easily swaps to dark mode, and the overarching variable setup and how they're all layered together with the primitives, the semantic, and the contextual, as well as themes for different modes swapping. So to get started, how we would set up the color system is in variables. We have already created our primitive collection, and this is where you'll have all of your primary colors, whether that's blue, pink, red, whatever your brand colors are, you'll add them in here, as well as your grayscale and any system colors you might have. Of course, you can add additional ones as necessary, but I've set up a very basic collection here that you can easily swap out with the values that you need. And then we have our semantic collection. So this is where you'll have everything that is assigned a role. So anytime you have a primary color, a surface color, text color, border, or icon, you'll be aliasing that from the primitives collection, but this will have a role. So you have your surface primary here, surface secondary, and then container surface primary, etc. And lastly, you have your contextual theme, and this is when you're attributing to specific components. The component I have set up here is button colors, so you'll see how that's attributed with the button surface, text, and icon colors. And if you want to go into modes, you can also create a theme for button states where you can add modes here for default, hover, and disabled. So when you're attributing those colors to your screen, you want to make sure that it's set up in a way that the dark mode is consistent and applies accordingly. So this here I have set up a component which has the dark mode instance here. So anything that I do on this level will be translated immediately on this instance. So when you have your colors set up appropriately, it will automatically change the colors correctly into dark mode. So for example, here we have your color surface, and that's at the very basic level, and that's going to change it to dark mode. And then when you do it at the container level, you have your container surface, and that allows you to have your highlighted dark mode at a level up, so you're able to easily transition through the two modes, and you can see that in action when you've attributed all of your colors correctly on your text, your containers, your buttons, and your icons, and then it will easily swap. And to make sure that the screen is applying dark mode correctly, you want to the appearance panel under semantic, you have it set to dark mode, and that way you can easily swap from light and dark mode, and as you're attributing, you'll see this automatically apply this in the dark mode. And you can see that in this page as well. I've set up the sections so you can see the variable, what it's being aliased with, and how that directly switches with light and dark mode. Again, this is a component level, so anything you do here will automatically attribute on this side to dark mode, just so you can see how things work together within the variables section and how to apply correctly so that all of your designs have the according aliases and variables.